Hi, I'm Kyle Tester. I'm the orchard manager at Wilson's Orchard and Farm, and today we are digging up our nursery. So, did a couple videos last year. We cut some what's called scion, which is just branches off the trees that we like at Wilson's, and we grafted them onto rootstock we got out of, I think, Oregon, the West Coast. Apples have this cool ability. You can make a special cut, tape them together, and the two trees will grow not knowing that they're two different trees. So the rootstock will stay being the rootstock, and the scion will be whatever twig you cut and kind of spliced onto there. Winter 2021, we grafted them, and then in the spring of 2021, we planted these out. We had about 5,000 trees we planted out, all hand dug in, which was quite the task. And then we just kind of grew them out for a year, and they got to a stage called a whip stage, where we just selected one bud to break and tried to get it to grow as tall as we could. Now they're just about to break. The ground is thawed. The buds are just about to break. And you want to dig the trees before the buds break. So we're kind of rushing to do that now. If you notice, the soil is very wet, kind of cloddy, but we had rain last week, rain the week before, rain coming up. So we kind of just had to bite the bullet and go ahead and dig these puppies now before they broke. We will dig these out. We purchased a tree digger. What? Huh? Anyway, that's Paul in the background being a jokester. He got us a tree digger this year. You pull it on a tractor and it kind of undercuts the roots, and then on the back end it has these kind of teeth that vibrate up and down to try to shake as much of the soil off as possible. Doesn't quite work 100% in these soil conditions. I think a lot of it is more for sand soils anyway, but with this wet clay soils, doesn't quite get all of it. So we go behind this tractor, take them off, knock off whatever soil's left. We wrap them up, bundle them, get them into the pack house, pack them in some moist sawdust, and we're gonna hold them for a week or so until we can prep the ground out at Wilson's to plant out there. All right, here we are at Wilson's now, kind of the final leg of this nursery journey. Behind me here, we've been planting out the trees we dug at the nursery late last week and putting them in their final place here. Behind me, we got Sweet Maya, Burgundy, Honeycrisp, Liberty, Ludacrisp, Rosalie, and probably a few others I'm forgetting. In about 2-3 years, we'll get a light crop, and then after that, we'll have a heavy crop. So it'll be about 4 years to a full crop on these, maybe 3 if we're lucky. You can see this machine here. It's a tree planter. It kind of rips a little furrow or a little channel into the soil kind of at the depth we want it. And then we just place a tree in there. We have wheels that kind of pack some soil around it, and then we go behind and kind of make sure that the tree's at the right level, stomp the dirt so it's got nice root to soil contact. And when we're setting these in, there's certain positions you want it. So there's the graft union. If you remember from early in the videos, there's a scion and the rootstock. They are spliced together, and that union can be kind of brittle. So what you want to do is kind of position that union so it's the wind, which here in Iowa is west-southwest is the prevailing wind. We want that wind kind of blowing the graft into itself. So we face where the bud's coming out, we face that to the west. The other way, and it's just a little brittle, the wind could kind of push it and snap it, and that's obviously not something you want. The other thing is you have to worry kind of about depth. So if you can see, there's like a fist and 2 or 3 fingers between the soil level and where that graft union is, and that'll sink a little bit. You want about 4 or 5 inches. It kind of depends on what you want out of the tree anyway. The deeper you plant, the more roots and the bigger the tree can get, even with the rootstock. But you run the risk of that graft union as it grows. The scion can work its way down, and if it gets down into the soil and starts growing, all of a sudden one of the properties that we use rootstocks for is to reduce the size. So, but if that scion is able to touch the ground and start rooting, you lose all of that size dwarfing. So you'll have trees that are 30 foot, or just huge full-sized apple trees. And you can obviously see we're planting these at about 3 foot across, and 30 foot for 3 foot spacing is not doable. So you want to just have that high enough that the scion can't root, but you also want it deep enough that you can get good ample root growth from the rootstock. And yeah, so I get the reason here, want me to just...
Yeah, show me quick. You can.
Yeah. Whoa, Jacob. Yeah, so we're putting these at about 3-foot spacing, and for the rootstock we have this on, it's a fully dwarf rootstock. So the trees will stay very small, but they'll create almost like a wall of fruit. That's the whole idea behind this dwarf rootstock system, is you pack them in real tight, they stay small, but there's no wasted space. It's just like a wall of fruit. So, and you can see behind these trees, those aren't even full size trees. Those are semi-dwarf trees, so they're about 50% of a seedling apple tree. And even that has become seen to be as inefficient. So we're moving away from that spacing down to even tighter spacing, just trying to make a wall of fruit so we can pack in the most apples in the smallest amount of area.